Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Helena and today's video is all about improving your leg flexibility. So we're going to start off today in our yogi squat, our malasana. And this is really good for stretching out the groin and the inner hips. We're going to take the elbows onto the insides of the legs. And if the heels don't reach the ground, that's perfectly normal. You can just practice placing a little bit of gentle pressure side to side to start warming up with the backs of the legs, which will eventually open up the more you do this. If the heels do reach the ground and you're quite competent in this pose, maybe taking the arms to either side, taking the gaze out in front of you, and resting the body here for a few moments. Taking the shoulders away from the ears, slightly engaging with the abdominals. Taking one more inhale. And as we exhale, drawing the hands to the ground, bending the knees quite considerably, coming into our ragdoll. So checking in that the feet are hip width apart, taking hands around opposite elbows, and then gently swinging the elbows from left to right, bending the knees as much as you need to. Feeling a really good stretch here up the backs of the legs all the way towards the hips. So this is really good for getting into the calves and the hamstrings. Relaxing the head too if you can. And focusing on placing the pressure into all the different four corners of each foot. It can help you keep balance. When you feel ready to do so, no rush at all, taking the hands towards the ground onto around the right foot to start with. Bending with that right knee quite considerably so that we can lift the left knee into the right leg. Taking a couple of breaths here, maybe calling the hands towards the foot. Always remember we can bend the knees as much as we need to. And perhaps taking that leg behind you if you've got room to do so or if you feel like doing so today. Taking a couple more breaths here. Placing that left foot to the ground, coming onto the opposite foot, taking the hands around that left foot, bending that right knee into the left knee. Bending the knees as much as you need to as you stay here or as you extend that right leg out behind you. When you feel ready to do so, placing that foot back towards the ground, coming into our halfway lift, having a flat back, taking the gaze forward. And then coming through our forward fold, taking the hands onto the backs of the legs as you draw a little bit of gentle pressure with the hands in towards the legs. Doing this movement a few more times as we inhale, coming into our halfway lift, flat back and gaze forward, drawing the belly button towards the spine. And as we exhale, rounding the back, taking the gaze just behind the feet or somewhere onto the wall behind you if you're quite flexible, bending the knees as much as you need to here. Once again, taking the gaze forward, coming through our halfway lift, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, and then drawing the hands towards the legs as you bring the body in towards the legs. Taking the hands to the ground on each foot, coming gently through our malasana or our yogi squat once more, maybe making a few movements from side to side. Before we drop the sit bone to the ground and take the right leg out in front of us, keeping that left foot in to the inside of the right leg. As we inhale, lifting with the fingertips towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, drawing forward with the chest, maybe taking the hands around the thigh, maybe the shin, or maybe the foot. As we inhale, just lifting up with the chest. And as we exhale, folding forward. Keeping both sit bones evenly on the ground here. And really focus on keeping that core slightly engaged. It can help us to bring a little bit more space into our practice, get deeper into the postures. Taking another breath here. Before gently drawing the body back upright, coming onto the opposite side. So this time placing that right foot onto the inside of the left leg. As we inhale, reaching the fingertips towards the ceiling, engaging with the abdominals. As we exhale, folding forward, chest towards the toes, inhaling just to lift with the chest, and exhaling, folding a little bit further, maybe placing the elbows onto the ground if you're quite flexible. It doesn't matter here if the hands are around the thigh, around the shin, around the foot. Instead of focusing on getting completely into a new pose today, what are those tiny things you can do maybe to get 1 or 2% better today? And if we keep that consistent mindset going through our practices, we will keep continuously improving. On the next inhale, gently lifting the hips back upright. This time taking both legs out in front of us, having a little bit of a wriggle with our knees first, And bending with the knees first as we come into this posture. Inhaling, lifting with the gaze between the hands. And as we exhale, folding the body forward, perhaps taking the hands around the feet, or if we're not quite there yet, taking the hands around the shins. Inhaling to lift with the chest, and exhaling to fold forward. Taking the gaze to the big toes. Taking a few more breaths here. And then gently unraveling the body, taking the hands towards the hips. Taking a couple of breaths here, pointing the toes towards the face. Before we come into the second round, this time option is to have the legs straight, never completely straight. We never want to have any pressure onto the knees. So we can always have a micro bend if we feel any discomfort here. Inhaling, lifting with the gaze, lifting with the fingertips towards the ceiling. As we exhale, really engaging with the abdominals as we fold forward. Taking hands around the shins, perhaps around the backs of the feet. Inhaling, lifting with the chest. Exhaling to fold forward. This time really focusing on getting that straight spine. Gaze to the big toes. Taking the shoulders away from the ears. A couple more breaths here. On the next inhale, drawing the body back through center. Crossing the legs over, whatever position feels most comfortable for you today. And giving yourself a well done for your short but good practice. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give my video a like and subscribe to my channel. I hope to see you next time. Thank you.